I just thought of a great tip. Compile a playlist of love songs that you really feel in your heart. And instead of just singing a song, imagine that there's a version in front of you that you're serenading. I promise you, you'll feel good. You'll feel really good. Hello, beautiful people. Today we are talking about living from the heart space and the benefits of doing so. Now, obviously, we have been conditioned to live in our head and to always come into situations with a logical mind, and we've just been generally taught that feeling a situation out or even having an emotional response to something is a sign of weakness. But we're not with that anymore, okay? We are kicking that to the side and we are shifting gears because our ancestors didn't have the luxury of doing that. So I genuinely believe that all of us came to this planet at this time for a reason, and that is to shift that mindset. If you've been struggling a little bit on, with anxiety or just general mental health issues, definitely encourage therapy, but I also have a shadow work guide and a shadow work video that will really help you kickstart understanding who you are and the reasons of why you do things, because I do understand that living from your heart isn't so easy when you're not really connected with your heart space in a positive way in the first place. So I'll put the link in the bio. Again, it's completely free and I really do think it will help you. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Here are 5 things that happen when you start living from your heart and less in your head. Number 1, you start to manifest a whole lot quicker. Someone may disagree with me and I don't care because that's their reality, but it's definitely not mine.
I paid my bills paid.
But when you are living from your heart space, you start to realize that you don't have to work as hard to get what you want. And what I mean by that is when something is in alignment with you and it's genuinely meant for you, it'll come to you. There's nothing that can stop you from getting it. There's nothing that can take that away from you. And I used to hear this all the time from Abraham Hicks when she would talk about the vortex and talk about when something is meant for you, there won't be any resistance. So if you're feeling resistance, either it's not in alignment with who you are or there's something not right with the timing. And thinking from my heart, I know thinking and heart sound weird to combine together, but that's really what it is. Like, I run everything through my heart before I make a decision. And there are times when an opportunity comes to me and in my head, it's like, well, it would make sense for me to take that. But my heart is going, no, don't take it. Number 2, you start to Marie Kondo your life. If you have not heard of Marie Kondo, you should definitely go look her up. She is the originator of the statement, if it does not bring you joy, then it has to go. I'm not sure how it goes verbatim, but that's basically what she said. And you start to apply that principle in all areas of your life. Do you feel in your heart like you should do it? If you don't, then don't do it. And I know a lot of people are probably gonna consider that as something not necessarily correct, because just because you don't feel like doing something, like if you don't feel like going to eat with your mom, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. And I get it. And that's when you have to exercise your own personal judgment. But from my experience, if it does not bring you joy, if it does not resonate with your being, then it has no business being in your life. It has no business being a part of your journey. Numero 3. This kind of ties into the first 2 points that I made, but when you start living from your heart, it gives space for opportunity and people to show up in your life. When you're constantly in your head trying to think about what you should do or what's the next step you should take or who should you talk to, a lot of times the decisions that you will be called to make, they won't make logical sense. But you have to have that level of trust to say, if this isn't resonating with me, something better must be coming. And you will be so surprised at the opportunities that just show up in your life when you're leading from a place of love and just really believing in yourself and how your body responds to scenarios.
There is a very real possibility that it works out way better than you are anticipating it to.
Number 4. Now this is something that really hit home for me because I struggled with it for so long. I have always been the type of person that I have to feel fulfilled in what I'm doing. And when I started incorporating more love in my day, more intuitive, more heart-based decision making, the moment that I stopped trying to find my purpose and I started being this being of love and service, is when I realized what I really wanted to do. It wasn't a specific thing, it was a specific feeling. And number 5, I started to be more sensual in how I lived my life. Because I started asking myself, does this bring me joy? Does this fulfill me, bring me pleasure? My life just naturally started to increase in that aspect. So now that I've laid out the 5 things that you can experience when you start living from your heart space, now you're like, okay, great, like how do I get there? Like living from your heart, like how do I do that? I got you, boo. So the first thing you're gonna do is stop trying to figure everything out. I know that's hard to do, but you literally have to get to a point where you just surrender yourself to everything that's going on and say, hey, I don't know the future. The past is already gone. All I have is the now, and clearly future me and my guides can see way more than me. So let me just take a moment to just be in a mode of receiving. Another way is to not focus so much on yourself and start asking how you can help others. Don't put any kind of expectation on it. You're allowing your heart to speak to you and saying, okay, how can I be of service to someone today? Another way is to start asking yourself, what brings me joy? And to have no shame about it. I feel like the older we get, the more we're conditioned to we need to do the stuff that we don't want to do and we need to get used to doing it. And it's so important to make time for yourself and to almost hone in on your inner child and make her happy. You see what I'm saying? Lastly, this one is optional, but it has made such a difference in how I live my life that it would be rude of me not to share. But I have been working with love goddesses.
Hello? Yeah, this is a message from your guides. They've been wanting to contact you.
I know a lot of people, that's not really your thing, but the way I always see it as is we're in this bubble, right? And that bubble is Earth, and we're in this physical body, and we can only see so much. We can only experience so much in this lifetime. So working with your ancestors and working with certain goddesses, it's almost like a cheat code because they know so much. And the key thing to go into in working with goddesses, you're not worshiping. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. You are not worshiping. These are different aspects of you, just in the same way that you are energy in a physical body. Their energy, they just don't have a physical body. You see what I'm saying? So you have to come at them from a level of equalness. You can do it with respect, you can do it with admiration, but in no way, shape, or form should you be worshiping, okay? So those 4 things, or 5, whatever, I can't count, are what will help you the most. And now I'll leave you with this. Great example of living from your heart space. I knew I wanted to film a YouTube video today, but I've been thinking about it for the past week, and I was like, what am I gonna film? What am I gonna film? And today I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna stop thinking about it. I'm gonna surrender myself to spirit and to my heart, and I just said out loud, what is something that I can record today that people can really benefit from hearing? And not even 5 seconds later, I had the idea of boom, living from your heart. And that's how this video came about. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I cannot talk today. If you resonated, feel free to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. See ya.